Now, before we kick off the afternoon session, we will be hearing from Richard Doran, who is the Marketing and Communications Manager at APGA, and he will be giving us an update on National Public Gardens Week. So, without further ado, Richard.
Hello, everyone. As Abby just said, my name is Richard A. Doran, and I am the Marketing and Communications Manager of the American Public Gardens Association. Let's see. My purpose here today is to take just a little bit of your time to give some insight into what's coming up for National Public Gardens Week in 2019. As I hope you have already heard, we have changed National Public Gardens Day to National Public Gardens Week. This was in response to some requests from you, our members. We engaged consultants to help us revamp National Public Gardens Day and sort of give us some focus on it. They conducted surveys of participants and also focus groups of potential visitors and offered suggestions on how to make National Public Gardens Day more relevant and impactful. One of the takeaways was to give gardens more opportunities to participate. Another was to disengage the day from a direct association with Mother's Day, which is obviously a very popular time for visiting public gardens. To that end, we expanded the day to a week. This year, the week will take place May 13th to 19th. That is the week after Mother's Day. Rest assured, however, that if you have already planned events and activities for the original National Public Gardens Day, May 10th, there will still be the ability to list and promote them through the website. Throughout the week, we emphasize the importance and impact of public gardens as community resources and catalysts for change in their communities. We would also like to emphasize the way that public gardens grow resilience in the individual, the community, and the planet by encouraging the general public to visit, value, and volunteer at their local public gardens. Our primary goal is participation. There is no wrong way to participate, except, of course, to not participate. Participation is fairly simple. We are right now putting the finishing touches on the revamped National Public Gardens Week website and plan to launch it in mid-March. We are using nationalpublicgardensweek.org as the primary URL for the week. We have also registered npgw.info for places where a shorter URL is called for. We'll have a little more on that later. And just for the sake of completeness, we also secured nationalpublicgardensweek.com. The new site will still feature the gardens map on the website, which will highlight participating gardens in orange. This shot is taken from the website today, showing the southeastern part of Arizona, where we had every public garden in Tucson participating last year, and also several more in the Phoenix area. During the week itself, May 13th to 19th, only participating gardens will be shown on the map. The entry form will allow you to post as many events as you'd like for each day of the week. There will be tags you can use to help visitors find activities best suited to their interests. For those of you who use the coupon feature to track participation, that feature will remain as well. The site will also have an events page that will show visitors the participating gardens in their area and allow them to sort by days of the week, region, and types of events. We encourage you to list any and all events that you have going on for the week. They don't need to be specifically created for National Public Gardens Week. While we encourage special offers and events to draw in crowds, we would like you to think of National Public Gardens Week as just an extra means of drawing attention to your garden. We have a couple of ways we'll also be drawing attention to National Public Gardens Week, and we'll get to that in a little bit. While we have no specific requirements for events or themes, we do invite gardens to create activities showcasing how public gardens grow resilience and how people and plants equal resilience. I think Don Rako's opening presentation today highlighted many ways that public gardens help develop resilience in people and the community. And in the Q&A afterwards, he gave some great suggestions for some programming, which will also be coming up here as well. With that in mind, we would like to give you some ideas culled from the previous 10 years of National Public Gardens Day that were developed by you and your peers. We developed a toolbox of ideas for National Public Gardens Day last year, and we have updated our website to reflect the new name, but most of the ideas remain as solid as ever. We also have a video version of the toolbox from last year, and we will update the 2018 PDF as we get closer to the website, to the launch of the website. Doesn't appear that I am able to send the URLs directly to you in the chat, so we will certainly send them to you afterwards. But you can find it, as you see up there, publicgardens.org national-public-gardens-week-toolbox. And again, we'll send those links to you. The links are not public, primarily because we don't want to give the public ideas about what sort of programming you should be doing and have them say, well, why aren't you doing that? And there are many ways we can put these ideas into actual action. We are very pleased to have a sample plan which Sherman Library and Gardens in Newport Beach, California sent us. Sherman, as you can see, has created theme days starting on May 11th and running through May 19th. Volunteer Day, Sustainable Gardening Day, Culinary Garden Day, Arts Day, Collections Day, Family Garden Day, Health and Wellness Day. The outline is available as a Google Doc, and we will make that link available to you in the post-webinar email as well. It's a really nice list of events and themes, which will be somewhat reflected in the events tags that we mentioned earlier, so people can really find what they're looking for during the week and make sure that they visit your garden at the right time. Please note, there is no requirement to sync your events with a theme or match the themes which Sherman has outlined. This is just an example of what one garden is doing, and we just thought it was a wonderful outline of things that Sherman shared with us earlier this year. So on Volunteer Day, for example, Sherman has created a meet and greet with their volunteers and docents and are offering free tours of the garden. The resilience theme is somewhat reflected in the personal desire to make a connection with others and through making an impact on the garden, your community, and yourself. You can also emphasize personal resilience through the beauty of the collections or the exercise programs, as Don mentioned earlier. Again, there is no wrong way to participate in National Public Gardens Week, except, of course, to not participate. So now you've set the events for the week and you've posted them to the website. Well, now what? In conjunction with the launch of National Public Gardens Week, an exciting new exhibition will be opening up at the United States Botanic Garden in Washington, D.C. This exhibition will feature displays created by nearly 24 of your peers from across North America. We will be working with the USBG as well as the participating gardens to encourage coverage of the exhibition, the gardens participating, and the tie-in with National Public Gardens Week. In addition to the USBG displays, we have a couple of other ways that we hope to draw attention to the week and the gardens that are participating. There's a My Garden fundraising campaign. We're going to look to have buildings and structures across the country go green on the night of May 13th, and of course, social media. The My Garden campaign, of which we hope many of your fundraising teams are already aware, is an online and text-to-give option that you can add to your garden's fundraising capabilities. In conjunction with Association Affinity Partner Mobile Cause, which was the back end of our successful scholarship fundraising campaign at last year's conference, and the Garden to Garden Disaster Response Center, your garden can sign up to raise funds through an online portal and through text-to-give to your specific garden. Association Director of External Relations Joan Thomas is leading a series of webinars to introduce the program and explain how it works. The first two, introducing the My Garden campaign and setting up your My Garden campaign, are available on the association's YouTube channel. Joan will be leading a repeat of the second webinar on February 20th, and the third will be on March 20th. We'll post links in the chat, or I would have done that, but we can't obviously, but we will send them to you after the webinar. You can also find them on the National Public Gardens Week page on the website under the Programs tab, where you can also register for the upcoming webinars. If you or your garden was looking to add a mobile text-to-give platform to your fundraising, this is a great opportunity to test drive an effective system. And this can also provide the opportunity for gardens that may not have an online fundraising solution to add it to their capabilities. The association is contacting structures and cities across North America to participate in the launch of National Public Gardens Week by going green. You see here the Empire State Building, downtown Chicago, the Korean Veterans Bridge in Nashville, and something that we're sort of excited about is Niagara Falls as an opportunity for that as well. We are currently pursuing opportunities in almost 24 cities, including New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Seattle, Buffalo, Columbus, Mobile, Charlotte, Dallas, many, many more across the country to light buildings green to mark the opening of National Public Gardens Week. We hope to be able to provide you with an array of photos for your social media feeds and to entice local news organizations to present local participants alongside others in this nationwide effort. One place that we are confirmed right now is the Pico Tower in Philadelphia, which has a message board in its crown lights that scrolls along all four sides of the building. This is one place where we deployed npgw.info as the URL, as watching National Public Gardens Day.org scroll across the top of the building would be longer than most people driving by would ever really have a chance to see. If your garden has the ability to change lighting, please consider turning the lights green on May 13th. I know that Aaron has graciously offered the dome at the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Garden to go green, and we're looking for a number of other opportunities in the Buffalo area, in addition to Niagara Falls. But if you have any suggestions for opportunities in your area, please let me know at rdoran@publicgardens.org and or put the suggestions in the community forum. And of course, we will look to promote the day through social media. In addition to targeted paid social media with video montages of photos from participating gardens, notably in areas where we have multiple gardens that are clustered around that we can directly target people, and also just a general national campaign. Last year's participants, as you can see, we have 4.7 million followers on Facebook, 2.1 million on Twitter, and 1.9 million on Instagram. The association just launched our Instagram this year at the annual conference, and we're over 1,000 followers right now. But 1.9 million from all of the gardens that participated last year. It's a good start, but of course we would eventually like to see more. And we are also going to be using the hashtag NPGW 2019. If you are tweeting and posting about it, please do consider tagging us at Public Gardens and Facebook and Twitter, and at American Public Gardens on Instagram. It's a great way for us to keep up with what you're doing, and also to get things trending, as you will. Finally, send us your stories. We are working hard to retain a national sponsor for National Public Gardens Week 2020, which would obviously help bolster our efforts to promote it on a national basis. And we would like to be able to share with them the many ways public gardens touch their communities. If you have some great stories about your gardens and how they have made a difference in your community or to the people in your community, please send them to us. Photos are great. Video is even better, and it doesn't have to be professionally produced. Well-crafted cell phone videos are, of course, quite acceptable. That pretty much wraps up a brief presentation on National Public Gardens Week. There will obviously be more information coming your way in the coming weeks. I'd like to just take a moment to mention the upcoming annual conference this June in Washington, D.C. as well. We are finishing the schedule and getting that website together as well. And as Aaron mentioned earlier, we are scheduled to go live with registration on March 4th. I hope to see your Gardens National Public Gardens Week's events when we launch the website in March. And if you have any questions or comments in the time we have left, I'd obviously be happy to answer them. You can also reach me directly at rdoran@publicgardens.org. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Richard. We do have a question. This is from Robin at Berkshire Botanical Garden. She says, I'm very excited about this, and I'm considering creating a naming contest for the animal characters in our new topiary garden. Is there a way to promote this through the website prior to National Public Gardens Week?
Yes, when we launch the website, you will have the ability to post events, and one of those could certainly be that contest you're talking about. And those would be available for people to find up even before the website goes live. And we could also use our social media to try to get that message out as well.
Great, thanks for the question, Robin. Another question, how can gardens participate in the USBG garden feature that you had mentioned earlier?
We did send out a call for participants at the end of last year, which a lot of people did apply for, and the USBG has gotten through and selected just short of 24, I believe, gardens. I'm not sure if there are any more spaces available down there. There are going to be some interesting display gardens on the terrace right outside of the building, if you're familiar with the conservatory down at the USBG, and also some installations throughout the Bartholdi Park and the adjacent park to the conservatory as well.
Great. Okay, we'll just pause here for a minute or so and see if we have any last minute questions before we get into our first afternoon session.
Terrific. I really like that idea of using the contest. I think that's a wonderful, it's just a way to be more interactive with your community.
Okay, we have a question from Christian. What efforts do you do to increase your followers organically at APGA?
Well, we are, of course, mainly a members-based organization. So we haven't done a lot specifically to get people outside of the industry involved with our specific social media feeds. One thing we do is we have started a Member of the Day feature, which we are using on the National Public Gardens Day or Week page on Facebook. And we post a garden every day of one of our members. We also have been doing recently what we are calling hashtag Friday Flora. That's going to be mentioned in our upcoming newsletter this weekend, but that's showcasing collections on our the nationally accredited plant collections network. And one of the things we do when we post those, sometimes we've had some go viral to 15, 20,000 people. People that do like that, like the post or like something like that or retweet it, we do reach out and try to encourage them to follow our page generally. Another way that we will be reaching out, as I mentioned, is also through paid targeted advertising, which we did pretty well with last year. It was a fairly simple montage of pictures from various gardens across that were participating and backed by Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony. So it's just some of the ways that we've been using to try to get more people.
Great, thanks for the question, Christian. Okay, well, thank you, Richard, for that update. And as he mentioned, we will be sending some of that information about National Public Gardens Week in the follow-up email. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you so much for doing this.